Happy December 17th, everybody. I am Aaron Norris, and this is the Norris Group's Real Estate Headline Roundup in 2. Let's get straight to the numbers. First up, DataQuick reports that Southern California prices fell in November to the second lowest level for that month in 18 years. Some of this is due to seasonality, but still below average. Prices ticked slightly up. New home sales lowest since 1988, and foreclosures make up 32.8% of the market. Northern California is experiencing harsh seasonal lows as well, and the high dollar market is still slow, with mortgages hard to get and more foreclosures on the market than usual. CoreLogic releases this week that home prices are down 3.93% year over year nationwide. Home builders across the country are crossing their fingers for a stronger spring. According to the National Association of Home Builders, housing starts are up almost 4% for single-family residential, but multifamily starts are down 10% as credit for projects are tight. Keep in mind, Lennar announced last month it raised over $300 million for a distressed asset fund, so we're not 100% that the builders' confidence is 100%, but we're hopeful. Timothy Geithner takes it on the chin this week in front of the Congressional Oversight Panel, who is in charge of overseeing the TARP program. Geithner defended the use of TARP as well as the HAMP modifications and cited that only 2 million out of 5 million delinquent borrowers actually qualified for the program, citing that homeowners were investors, could actually afford their mortgage payments, or bought something they never should have been in to begin with. Go figure. Very interesting story put out by the Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia this month. It analyzed strategic defaults and found negative equity a major reason people defaulted. No surprise there. It also reveals owners with HELOCs are keeping up payments and purposely defaulting on their first, and banks aren't adjusting these HELOCs after a default comes into play. About 90% of the lines remain unchanged even after 3 quarters following first mortgage default. Interestingly enough, they also found that 3 to 6% of these borrowers actually had their HELOCs increased. Wow! The report contradicts current thought that consumers are more likely to default on the second to make payments more affordable. It appears access to credit may be more important. Wells Fargo goes against the grain this week as the conversation continues as how lenders will comply with the provision in the Dodd-Frank Act that requires banks to retain a stake in home loans packaged for Wall Street. Wells Fargo is, of course, the #1 originator in the U.S. and is actually proposing that loans with less than 30% down be subject to this new rule. Many smaller banks and the Mortgage Bankers Association is objecting to the rule, citing lesser competition for the big banks and increased costs for borrowers. The Fed has until April to decide on how to fully implement this bill. And in our final story for today, a new bill aims to end GSE affiliation with MERS. H.R. 6460, or the Transparency and Security in Mortgage Registration Act of 2010, would forbid Fannie and Freddie from purchasing any loans in the MERS systems 6 months after it is put into law. Having just interviewed CEO R.K. Arnold of MERS, it appears that these congressional members who put this forward don't fully understand what MERS is and what it does. Actually, CEO R.K. Arnold was quoted as saying he looks forward to their review. That's it for this week. Up on the radio is John Daurio. He is the chairman and CEO of Condor Capital, known for doing large note pools. Thank you, SDCIA, for hosting our new talk on Tuesday of this week to a very large and welcoming crowd. This coming week will be open Monday through Thursday, and then we will reopen January 3rd in the new year. If you have anything to do with the hard money loan department, please get it done as soon as possible. For more information on hard money loans, check out thenorrisgroup.com, and for trust deed investing, check out tngtrustdeeds.com. Have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you next week.